never nice. Prison life and no nothing like paradise. Prison life, man, we take your life. And when you rest in peace, another man your wife. Prison life.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson. As I'm pretty sure you know by now, along with probably the rest of the world, the Jamaican Court of Appeal earlier this afternoon announced that they were not ordering a retrial in the matter of Vybz Kartel and his 3 co-accused. The Court of Appeal said that they were in fact entering a verdict of acquittal, and as we speak, Vybz Kartel is now on the street. He's now free. Now we're going to be looking at various aspects of the matter throughout this program. Later on in the program, we will be talking about Kartel as the entertainer and the kind of impact he's been having on the culture. What is possibly still to come. First, so we're going to be talking about the legal issues. We have 2 of the attorneys who were in this matter in studio with us, Isaac Buchanan as well as John Clark. Before we go to them, though, Giovanni Dennis has this overview of how we got here.
Firstly, who is Vybz Kartel?
I am Adija Palmer, dancehall artist / hero, businessman, proud father of 7 children. I'm counting.
So how did he end up in prison? On September 29, 2011, he was arrested and charged for possession of ganja. Then, this disclosure by then Assistant Commissioner of Police, Elon Powell.
The investigations surround murders.
This now derelict property on Swallowfield Avenue in Havendale, St. Andrew, is the last place where Clive Lizard Williams was seen alive on August 16, 2011. Mr. Williams was summoned here along with the prosecution's key eyewitness Lamar Chow to account for 2 missing guns by entertainer Vybz Kartel. Mr. Williams, Mr. Chow, and Sean Storm Campbell came here to see Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel was inside with 2 other co-convicts, Kyra Jones and Andre St. John. Mr. Chow testified that Jones held Williams from behind and he ran outside the room. He said he was cornered by Vybz Kartel and Sean Storm Campbell and brought back inside. He said when he went back inside, he saw Williams motionless on the ground. He then made a run for it, jumping over the wall. Clive Lizard Williams has not been seen or heard from since that fateful Tuesday night nearly 4,600 days ago.
The murder trial was the longest in Jamaican history, lasting from November 18, 2013 to March 13, 2014. TVJ's Dara Smith.
Now, after 65 days, 30 witnesses, 24 for the prosecution, 6 for the defense, 5 unsworn statements, closing submissions from both sides, and some 5 days of summation from Judge Justice Lennox Campbell. And after 2 hours of deliberation, the jurors today arrived at a decision. 10-1, Vybz Kartel, Adija Vybz Kartel Palmer, guilty. Sean Storm Campbell, guilty. Kahira Jones, guilty. Andre Matsu St. John, guilty. And then you have Shane Williams. He was found not guilty.
The men were sentenced on April 3 that year to life in prison. Kartel, 35 years before being eligible for parole.
I'm not looking for 30 or 15, not for your honor. Oh God, man, have mercy upon you.
I'm not looking for the minimum sentence of 15 or 10 years.
Kartel no deserve 35 years. Kartel deserve 15 years because Kartel not kill nobody.
Since his incarceration, the DJ has continued to release a plethora of music, including new albums and international collaborations. Exactly 6 years after his 2014 conviction, on April 3, 2020, a 3-member panel of judges in the Jamaican Court of Appeal reaffirmed Kartel's conviction. On April 17, 2020, the Court of Appeal reduced Kartel's parole eligibility to 32 years and 6 months, citing the presiding judge's failure to consider the time the DJ had spent in jail while awaiting trial in 2014. Fast forward to February 14, 2024, a fast-tracked hearing before the Privy Council. One of the defense's concern, the case should have been dismissed or restarted because of a corrupt juror, Livingston Kane, who attempted to bribe other jurors to return a not guilty verdict. Exactly a month later, March 14, the Privy Council quashed the men's convictions based on the same issue of juror misconduct. Today, the Jamaican Court of Appeal ruled the men should be freed. Giovanni Dennis for All Angles.
Okay, so why did the court rule that? Before we get to our guests, here's a very quick summary. That the interests of justice did not call for a retrial, and that the factors in the case were weighted against a new trial. The court said it looked at 12 factors. 1. The seriousness and prevalence of the offense, that is murder. 2. The strength of the prosecution's case. 3. The availability of prosecution witnesses and exhibits for a new trial. 4. The availability of defense witnesses. 5. Delay and whether there can be a retrial in a reasonable time. 6. The time and cost of a new trial and its impact on the court's resources. 7. The ordeal of a new trial for the appellants. 8. The impact of prejudicial publicity on the fairness of a new trial. 9. Whether a new trial would give the prosecution an unfair advantage. 10. Changes in the Jury Act. 11. Potential legislative changes in sentences for murder. And 12. The possibility of the prejudicial effect of the mandatory minimums of terms before eligibility for parole. As a result, presiding judge and new president of the Court of Appeal, Martha McDonald Bishop, said this.
We have looked at all the other factors, but we find by now, having weighed everything in the balance, that the countervailing, the weight is against a new trial.
And with that,
having regard to all the considerations the court has taken into account, we conclude that the interests of justice do not require a new trial to be ordered for the appellants. And we therefore make the following order. Judgments and verdicts of acquittal are entered in relation to the appellants.
Okay, so how did my guests in studio react when that verdict, that ruling was handed down? We'll find out when we come back after the break.